Okay, Kak Zora, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mas Angga, and thank you uh, for all of the participants for being here tonight. First, let me share my screen. Mm, Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, so once again, thank you guys for being here. As you might already know from the publication, I think that today we are going to talk about over consumerism. So just a brief introduction. Why did I choose this topic? It's because I have a degree in sustainable development, in which I learned in general all the 17 goals of UN SDGs, right? And out of those 17, the goals of reducing consumerism is one of the goals that I'm very much interested in, as it is something that hits really close to home, and something that we might not aware of doing. We often even do it at the expense of saving the earth. So it's kind of ironic, is it? And here in our discussion, I would like to know everyone's point of view on this topic because, well, we don't want to live in our own bubble, do we? Like, I want to know what other might say, or have to say, based on what they're thinking in this topic. So I don't think there is a right answer or a wrong answer. So, let us have a rich, and fruitful discussion. So I hope that each of you will be motivated and eager to share your perspective in regard of this theme. So now, maybe let's move on to the first slide. First, maybe just a brief introduction. This is all the three main subjects that we will touch upon. We will go from climate crisis and then over consumerism, and then we will reach the main topic of the growth. This is just a simple definition for each of these subjects. So climate crisis is a global emergency caused by the rising of the greenhouse gas emissions, which can lead to the extreme weather, sea level rising, and then biodiversity loss. But actually, this is just some of the devastating effect of climate change. There are a lot of other um, uh, sad effect of this climate crisis. And then we have over consumerism. This is the excessive use of resources driven by our consumption habits, and this often conducted at the cost of the planet. And then we have degrowth. Degrowth is a concept. This is a new concept actually that has been rising for the past maybe decade, I might say, in which challenge the idea of endless economic growth, and the concept advocating for sustainable ways of living that prioritize well-being over material health. So this is our, I think this is the only knowledge that we need to continue our discussion. So So maybe we can start with something like climate crisis caused by climate change. I think this is a common or shared experience that we all have been experiencing. And this is not a tale. This is a not a gossip or a myth. This is actual event that climate change impacts every corner of the planet, but its consequences are not evenly distributed, as we know. The more vulnerable people face are facing more devastating effect of the climate change, while the more fortunate can escape their way out of it, although not totally. And this global challenge force us to examine the root causes and their connection to our daily lives. So we are causing the climate change and climate crisis. Um, for starters, maybe we can share what changes have you personally noticed in the environment over the past few years, and how do these changes affect your daily life? Uh, is there anyone to want to sharing their thoughts on this? Wait, I cannot see my screen. Oh, wait, I cannot see my screen.
Kak Ryan is raising his
Oh
hand.
yeah. Okay, please, Mas Rian, can you tell us the changes that you have personally noticed in the environment?
Yes, thank you, Azura, uh, for the intriguing opening. So yeah, so from my experiences, from the past few years, the most common changes that I have experienced is the changes in climate, yeah, Mas Angga. So actually, I cannot predict again when will the rainy seasons comes and ends, and the same thing happens for the dry seasons. So it impacts my father-in-law in Jepara. So my family cannot predict when they should start. So they are working as a farmers here, Basura and as Sandra, to give you a more context. So they cannot predict when they should start to plan their as well, as they cannot predict the climate as good as before. And these changes also impact myself, but I'm not a farmer actually. So this kind of climate changes also occurs globally. So I also read more reports and read more articles. It changes my life. So I try to become a better person. Just to give a little impact to the environment. So maybe by using more public transport, or bringing tumbler, or bringing my own bag, just to minimize the plastic waste, just like that. So yeah, maybe it's not a big steps, but I tried my best to do it. I think that's enough for me. There is another
Okay.
one who raised his hand.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mas Rian. But it is indeed a little goes along the way. Just a little act can actually save our planet if it is conducted. If everyone is being mindful of their act, of course, it will have a great impact. Yes, Mr. Sunshine.
Thank you. Um, so yeah, I do believe that I like to say something that is quite similar with what has been stated by uh, Mr. Rea before. So I thought that the agriculture sectors would be heavily impacted negatively due to the more unpredictable weather conditions. It would dampen the ability to rely on or sustain financing. Because I see that uh, the most heavily impacted one would be the informal sectors, especially in agriculture, because like I was kind of focusing on predicting and providing a look on the financing opportunities of every sector. So I could see that those living or relying on the life based on agriculture industries would be even suffer due to the unpredictability of the weather conditions. I would say that um, we know now that the unpredictability of weather cause the less favorability of these sectors because, and that's why our governments like focus more on mining industries or like services industries. And we know that the agriculture's become the big point of our countries, other than UMKM or and medium small enterprises. But I could see that most of these informal sectors, agriculture sectors, are uh, unbankable people. So they do not know how to integrate financing strategies and mechanisms to scale up their businesses. And that's why they rely on middlemen. This would, how to say, it's like cut the profit that they would have in the long term, especially. And knowing the less profitability that can be gained from this sector, it influences the perspectives of young people, young generations over these industries. It becomes less popular and from mediums to long terms. It would decrease the productivity or the production rates of the agricultures. It means that we're going to heavily rely on the importations of staple goods, like for example, rice. So I can say that it would how to say it's like decrease the decrease the how to say it's like food security of our communities. So yeah, the climate change, in other words, would severely impact the people in terms of the purchasing power, the availability of the staple foods, and hence it might lead to an inflation of or the piece of the rise on the price of staple foods. So I could say it has macroeconomics and systemic impacts on the welfare of the people, especially the decrease of the interest of the people to this kinds of agriculture sectors, which after so much crucial to the developments of the economic growth in our country. I think that's my comment. Ms. Sauzo.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Swanson. It is actually a very wholesome perspective on the climate change because I was an oceanographer in my bachelor, and I know there are there is certain months that's supposed to be in a certain season, right? And it used to be very solid, but now I cannot use my knowledge that I gained back in the uni because the climate is changing. You cannot anymore predict the weather, just like you said and Mas Rayan said. And yeah, I am also agree that the people, but mostly marginal people who depend their lives on the natural resources directly are the most impactful. That is why um, the climate crisis is not affecting people in the same degree. Uh, yeah, and I think we have a graduate from agriculture here. Is it Mas Wahyu, right? If I'm not mistaken, you
It's
or
William.
Willie. Oh, it's William. Sorry. Maybe you have a say on this topic, on this climate change thing, Mr. Willie.
Well, I would say the changes that I am personally noticed in the environment around me is waste problem because I guess right now in my town the waste problem is quite better than before. I think this is uh because of the TPS 3R in my town. They provide uh they provide waste service, and because of that the environment, especially the road, the river in my town is so much better than 5 or 7 years ago because uh the the waste or the trash is not as much as is not uh is quite better.
Okay. It is nice that you now mention about waste because it is related to our next question. But before we move on, is there somebody else want to unmute themselves and say what their opinion on this first question? No?
Acha.
Okay, Acha, yes.
Okay. There are so many things changed in the past few years in my life. The first thing is the river in my village. When I was 7, 8, or 9, we used to swim in the river because the water was really clean and also it's really heavy. So we can swim there with my family, with my friends. We play there. Um, but now we couldn't swim there because we are too afraid the water too dirty, and also right now the water is just that's the first thing. The second is the river become too large because the land um how to say that fall down, something like that. And the sec we can when I was kid we used to actually this is bad. We used to wash our clothes there. Maybe the detergent also not so good for the environment. Yeah, but those time we uh, at that time we could do that thing, but right now we cannot do that thing anymore. The second is the path, maybe the road to the school, the road to everywhere are not safe for the children, maybe because of the transportation too. When I was kids, we used to go to school by bike. We ride a bike to school. We go somewhere by riding our bike. But right now, it is too dangerous for kids to ride a bike to go to school. But I do not know why parents buy the kids electric motorbike. It caused another problem, I guess. Thank you. But the biggest change about the environment is the river. The river comes so dirty and uh, not safe for us to play and wash our body. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, the Acha. So, thank you for the enthusiasm, but I think at this point we have enough what we say testimony of how our life has changed because of this climate crisis and climate change. So we can proceed to my next question. This has a close relation with what Mas Willie said is about waste. So now scientists and policymakers often highlight the link between climate change and human activity, right? Because we are the suspect of how our world is changing now. And what do you guys think about our consumption habits that contribute to the climate crisis? Anyone want to share their thoughts? Maybe we can think where are those ways that also Mbak Acha saw in the river and Mas Willy witnessed of the trash and the waste come from. Anyone? Okay, maybe I want to hear it from Mbak Sri Fatimah Azahra.
Okay, uh, I will try to answer this question. And how do our consumption habits contribute to the climate crisis? Okay, my opinion is it's really related have a influence our consumption habit and very contributed to the climate crisis. For example, if we always maybe just buy and buy more and more clothes that we don't need it just because the trend and at the end because this maybe like t-shirt jeans that we don't need it again because the trend is over and it will be just be a trash and and there is an issue about fast fashion too that make more and more clothes, and it's very impactful with our environment because with the most of factors that have contributed to the climate crisis is fast fashion. I think like that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Fatima. Uh, can I call you Fatima, or do you prefer other uh name to for me to call
Just
you?
call me Zahra, Kak. Zahra.
Oh, Zahra. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, Zahra. So yeah, it is indeed very. This is the highlight of our discussion today. Is about how our habit in consumerism affecting the whole planet. Um, is there anyone else that want to say their thoughts on this? Oh, okay. Mbak Acha, please. The floor is yours.
Okay, so I want to answer it only what I know. Of course, our activity contribute to the climate crisis. The first, every day, few years ago, I forget how many years ago, many people say stop using plastic because this is too dangerous for our environment. It is not easy. How to say that? Yeah, it takes too long broke and I do not know and cycle or something like that. So people stop using plastic. They move from plastic bag. They move to paper bag, not paper bag, shopping bag. But shopping bag also the new problem right now. I guess people got too many shopping bag with too many style or something and also wasted. And also, if we consume a lot, of course, the producer will produce a lot. When how to spread their product, the government will support them with transportation, right? The road will covered by asphalt. How to say that? So that's also that's so it can be bad, it can be good. Maybe people will think, oh, it's how to say that? It's modern, it's good, but in other way, no, it's breaking up our environment, something like that. But from the process of production and spread widely to the consumer, I think all those process impact to our climate crisis. And until the end, if we do not use it anymore and we cannot reuse and recycle it by ourselves or even no one facilitate us for doing that.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Acha. Yeah, I think it is true that shopping bag is now the new problem because we keep forgetting to bring one when when we go shopping, and then we buy another one, and then boom, we have 11 shopping bags in our closet, right? And yeah, about the mass production, they will force their way to be absorbed That's why we are now have a lot of things offered through our social media, and one scroll you already see a lot of product being offered, right? Yeah, and indeed it is production and economy is like two sides of a knife, so it can be good and it can be bad. Okay, next please. We want to hear Mbak Sakina.
Okay, Miss. Thank you for this opportunity. Based on my opinion, kind of consumption itself, not only anything that we eat or drink, or maybe we use, but actually, what I need to point is about our resident, because when people are growing right now, we tend to need safe place to live, such as a good house or some places to go around, and then it kind of a new source of yeah, there will be many trees that will cut off because human needs on resident. That's why it might give more bad impact to our biodiversity loss, because trees, or as we know as forest, it kind of habitat for some animals, and there are many plants over there, but actually, because people are growing now, uh, as I can see in my hometown, actually there are many trees beside the what is that? Beside the street, but now I only can see there are only resident across the street. Yeah, just one of the different that I can see right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mbak Sakina. Yeah, indeed, deforestation is now a huge trend in order to accommodate our population growth. Yeah, and for residential area, it's a bitter fact actually. Yeah. Next we have Mr. Saifullah Putra. You can
Okay,
unmute.
thank you for allowing me to speak. I want to say sorry if my signal is very low to transmit my message or my idea. But first of all, I think our activities are correlated with the climate change, of course. Like, for instance, we dispose our waste into a garbage trash, or maybe to landfills that we have already used the products made from, I think, made from plastics, which is the most dangerous materials nowadays to our environment. And also, I believe that maybe some locations or maybe some regions in Indonesia don't have superior waste management in their town or maybe in their region, and it will impact to the environment surrounding them, and it will create the impact to our environment negatively. And I think from this example, uh, we can conclude that our consumption habits contribute to the climate crisis, like I mentioned before, from the waste management that maybe that our governments try to do. And of course, if we can't manage our consumption habits, which, like I said before, from the plastic that we use, it will exacerbate the impacts or maybe negative effects on the environment. And of course, maybe in the next years, in the following years, we can be affected by the environmental changes in our surroundings. Like sometimes we can get, we can get many natural disasters like flooding, or maybe like the in the US recently happened, like wildfire and so on. I think that's enough.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Mas Saifullah. It is indeed, waste management is something often practiced poorly in the urban area. So it's not only that we are competing for residential areas, but also with landfill. So life is not an easy business, huh? Okay, next we have Mas Haras.
Okay, thank you for the chance given. Scientists and policymakers often highlight the link between climate change and human activity. How do our consumption habits contribute to the climate crisis? I think I'll grab the example from transportation. For example, they say like some people, because they have like private transportation, for example, like motorcycle or by car to go everywhere. They say like the carbon footprint is like it's adds up every car, and yeah, and people say like, please, uh, please just throw away or just sell your gas vehicle and then just buy an electric one. Well, the electric one is actually not that reliable, so it's kind of hard to dispose the battery, the old broken battery, with like normal people like us. So like we need to like dispose to like some special person that has the ability to dispose batteries, and a lot of the wiring a lot of the wirings sometimes they need to be changed, or they need to throw away some of like the old wirings and stuff. And like wiring, they have like this plastic coating, so it adds to our plastic what do you call it, to our plastic waste because of the cables and stuff. So yeah, but with gas cars, maybe you have to like service. Well, gas cars, they don't really use that much plastic. Maybe like some rubber parts, but that's all. And like if there's like some metal parts that you don't use anymore, you could actually just dispose them at the place where they could make something new out of it. Maybe they could make like a table, or they could like print something new so that it's reusable again. Thank you. So.
Okay, thank you, Mas Haras. This is actually a very intricate problem we have here with the, yeah, as you mentioned, with EV, because they require special treatment at the end of their life cycle. And maybe this is not on a personal level, right? The waste that they created, it's really beyond our capability to overcome as a individual. There's a nice point of view. Maybe it is only the second question out of total question that we have today. Maybe I want to hear one more from Mas Willy.
So I think one of human activity that contribute to the climate crisis is irresponsible consumption, especially in terms of food. Well, if we see if we see in social media, there are so many content such as food with a extra topping, or mukbang content with with a huge portion that actually that's too that's really that's really not make sense to we consume it, and at the end we just wasting the food, and this is really contribute to the climate crisis, because the more we consume the food, the more we open the land for the agriculture activities, and the land that we use for agriculture activities, for producing food resources, it it can affect to deforestation, because if we want to open the land for agriculture, when one of the way to open it is deforestation. So irresponsible consumption in terms of food is really affect to climate crisis. So I think we need to promote uh, sustainable consumption in terms of food, raise awareness about it in terms of uh, making content that promote this kind of activities, such as make a food with extra portion, or mukbang content with a huge portion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mas Willie. Yeah, there goes our um, goals number 12 of responsible consumption and production in sustainable development goals. Yeah, indeed, we have to be more mindful of what we eat, because food waste is one of the biggest contributor to climate change, I think, as of today. Okay, now I think we all know, agree that we have a very huge responsibility on our consumption habits and how we affect our planet in the future. And it is indeed a very concrete connection between climate crisis and over consumerism, because our consumption habits play a pivotal role in driving the climate crisis. The production and the transportation of goods often fueled by fossil energy, especially in the global south. They can release significant greenhouse gases, and as we all some of you has mentioned before, that our habits of buying and discarding and replacing are not only contributing in the emission of greenhouse gases, but also the natural resources depletion and waste. This is a huge capital letter on waste. So the system in which encourage this level of behavior consumption are worth examining. So this is a more complex than we think it is. Okay, next on. Maybe we can do a little introspection now. Have you ever bought something because it was just trending on social media, because some influencer, your favorite influencer, maybe review it on their account, and then soon after you realize that you didn't need them, and what do you think drove that decision? So more about consumption behavior survey here. Okay, anyone want to open the discussion on this?
Mbak Zora, before we
Yeah,
proceed to the next speaker, is the slide on or off? Because I somehow cannot see the slide.
it is still on actually. I'm still sharing.
Can everyone see?
Visible. It's visible. That's why.
Yeah, same here.
I think I can
Yes,
say
we
it.
can.
Oh, you cannot see it. Wait, I'll just stop sharing.
Yeah, you may stop and share the slide again.
Wait. Oh, share. Can you guys see it now?
All right, it's visible for me.
Okay.
Thank you, Mbak Zora.
I think from the last question, I haven't heard from Mbak Henny, so maybe this is your time to shine, to speak your opinion on this question. Please, Mbak Henny.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss. How's my voice? Can you
Yes.
hear?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, I wanna answer your previous slide, but it's okay. Okay. Regarding to your question, about have I ever bought something because but because it was trending on social media? Not really. I'm not a person who likes following FOMO. I buy something whenever I need the things, yeah. But I prefer buying some food to some clothes, yeah. Um, because if clothes, I want to buy some clothes if I really need that clothes, yeah. Maybe if it's already broken enough, so I buy it, yeah. And I especially about food because I'm I'm a person who likes eating, yeah, and I love culinary tour, and I love buying some trending food, and I want to try, yeah. But I never realized about something that I've ever bought, especially about food, because I love it, yeah. I love culinary tour, and what do I think drove that decision? Yeah, it depends on my money. If I have enough money, I buy it. If it's not enough for my financial condition, so I prefer to cancel it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Henny. So we have one good responsible consumer here. Um, is there anyone else that maybe have a different um mm, preference than Mbak Henny? Like I like to buy things that are on sale, that are viral. I think is it just me? Because I find it hard to resist the temptation of buying viral things because sometimes they are cute, funny, not funny, cute and yeah, interesting. Uh, oh yeah, please, Mas Putra.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Okay, this is an interesting question. Maybe I would go for smartphone because I ever bought a smartphone that maybe I can do it with my former smartphone because my former smartphone was really is still functional, but I wanted to buy the latest smartphone because I want to follow the trendy or maybe the modern features and so on. So I would say that I think our consumption habits like purchasing up to date or maybe update smartphones can impact on the environment surrounding us because we don't know exactly the reality how maybe the smartphone companies extract the raw materials from the earth, and also we don't know about the impact or maybe the negative effects on the environment or maybe on the native peoples who are residing in the mining or maybe in the process that can make the smartphones that we can use it today. So I think we can also we are getting affected. We are affected by the advertisements and how larger companies try to convince us that we should buy or purchase this smartphone because they offer maybe some modern features or maybe some modern application that we can use, or maybe that we can utilize it for every day to assist our daily activities. But we should know that we have to reduce our consumption habits that can greatly impact on our environment, because if we can reduce from maybe easily purchasing any new materials or maybe any new products, it can impact on the like the addition for the waste in the landfills or heaps. So I would say that we should manage our consumption habit and still to use our products if our products are still functional to assist our lives. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mas Saifullah. But yeah, it is the peer pressure is real, and we are the targeted market of these huge companies. We are convinced by the advertisement that this product can actually make our life better. They are attacking our emotion. Uh, okay, thank you for sharing your experience. Uh,
Can I share my thoughts as well, Kak Zora?
I'm sorry,
Oh,
I'm still muted. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Mas Angga.
yeah, I somehow cannot raise my hand as a host. I don't know why. But anyway, yeah, I really agree with what Putra has said before. Actually, our preferences do not come by themselves. Actually, they're shaped by a lot of things, like our friends, our environment, our family, and mainly driven by the advertisements, right? By like giant companies. When you see their money, their amount of money that they use to invest in advertising their products, it is actually huge. They hire like influencers, important people, and many things, and they appear on many social media platforms and so on and so forth. Um, Considering now our time is mostly used in on social media, so uh, they use this tool as well, right? Like for instance, like in the past, we didn't know that our watch can also be used as many things, like as a Google Map, like Apple Watch. I don't know the functions of Apple Watch, but I know that Apple Watch has so many functions that we could not really imagine. Like in the past, it can work that way, but now because of the advertisements that they're making, everybody thinks that it's useful and it's necessary for people. So yeah, what I would like to say is this big companies play a pivotal role in driving our preferences. So yeah, it does not come by itself. For me, personally, I buy something um, based on what I need, because I really rarely do I like watch or follow some influencers that are advertising uh, some maybe current products that I could say that I'm less affected by the advertisements because I rarely watch it. So yeah, that's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mas Angga. Yeah, this giant company is offering us all the things, all the features we didn't know we need, and yeah, we didn't know if we ever need them. But yeah, it's their job, right, to sell their product. Okay. Next, I want to hear from Mr. Holiday. I haven't heard from you. Maybe you can share your thoughts on this one, Mr. Holiday. Are you with us? Okay, I think probably there's something wrong with the connection. Next, I want to hear from GNR.
Oh
Mr.
yeah. Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Okay.
crystal clear.
Thank you, Miss Auzora. So I just joined the meeting while I'm commuting. Uh Actually I didn't follow this topic, but I just read the question, the inquiry regarding the buying something in social media, that after that we realized that it is necessary or not, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, I have that kind of that experience, but not in social media. I think like it more in e-commerce or maybe in marketplace. Like there's like some momentum like Black Friday or what, like discount, great discount at that moment. So I just bought like, oh, I have some discount, even like it's not really necessary. So just like, how to say it? Not panic buying, but just enthusiasm to join that kind. Oh, I get, like, if I buy more, I can get more benefit, and because it is cheaper. But sometimes that it is, do I need these things? Like not really important, but like when you do a window shopping, let's say in Shopee or Tokopedia, so it's like very intriguing to buy some whole things that maybe we don't really need. But for social media, I'm kind of person like not really YOLO or FOMO. So if like something happened that, like for example, like like iPhone 16 already appear, right, in the last 2024, and there's like, how to say it, like some, maybe if you are Apple user, yeah, maybe you are like upgrade because they advertise like AI intelligent. But sometimes I just wondering, do I need these things? Do I need, like, because I'm not really, how to geek. I mean, like someone who really have, how to say it, like uh kind of patient to editing something. So I mean, not really, but the good things, like the camera from iPhone Apple is really good. So I'm considered to buy. But like, do I need like iPhone 16? Just maybe iPhone 14 or 15, I think enough, something like that. So I still to try to prevent myself to like buying for just happening, like jump into the bandwagon or something like that. So yeah, but yeah, it happened, but not from social media. So for social media, I just use like, if I want to visit some place, I didn't have TikTok, but like some influencer advertise in TikTok. So for kind of reference, so I installed the TikTok. I just for open some videos or video if there's like trending, like let's say a place or a tip, something like that. But for social, for buying some goods, I didn't really affected. I mean, like I'm recognize myself that I'm not really affected with social media. But for visiting some place, sometimes social media is kind of a bit tricky or overrated. So yeah, But nowadays we live in social media, so yeah, the filters in us. So yeah, that's my opinion, Kak Auzora. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Mas GNR. Well, I also don't use TikTok, but indeed, some of the social media has their genuine benefit and usefulness. Maybe, but talking about searching for information for places or touristy places in TikTok, sometimes that can also lead to consumerism, you know. At least in my case, because I didn't want to say Lembah Purba, but I saw it on TikTok, and then I want to go there. And to go there, I have to buy new trekking shoes and outdoor clothes, which I probably just use it once or two times in a year. So, but yeah, I agree with you that the filter is on us. So it can be good social media or can drove us far away from what is normal.
Yeah. So just one adding some. So
Yes.
actually, I do like mostly my friends, like like nowadays, like we, for example, I started to playing tennis, but I'm still amateur, so I didn't like. Do I need to buy this racket? Do I need to buy this shoes? Do I need to buy this clothes? Even like I already have the clothes, but just for jogging, for playing. I mean, like another sport, but it's still like I mean like I wearing it is still how to say it's appropriate. And then for shoes, what is the different tennis shoes in the casual shoes? I mean like for sports shoes for running, I think it's not really different. But for racket, so I just not buy. So because I hire some coach at that time, so he like land it, not land, like rent it. So I rent his racket, and then like okay, it's fine. So and then I just play 2 times, 3 times, and then after that I just go. So like uh fine. How to say that? And like I'm lucky, I didn't buy that racket because I just like hype in the beginning. So yeah, sometimes I mean, let's say like you wanna trekking in a mountain. So do I need like trekking shoes and yeah and like backpacker? Yeah. Sometimes social media lead to buy some because we wanna go to somewhere place or maybe do some hobbies like maybe play tennis or maybe just start to play what is like the not yoga, what is it like with stick, some women do that like with the
On
stick
fit, I
like
think.
pon fit yeah, something like that. So yeah, it's like trending and some just hype in the beginning. Yeah, Kak Azora, thank you.
Yeah, it is.
Agree.
It requires a lot of energy to
Yeah,
find
and
the
and
thing.
a lot of money as well.
True. Okay. Well, I think it is interesting that good that some of you have the strong self-control of not do impulsive buying. But I think just like me and probably the majority of people on the earth are struggling with resisting the temptation of buying something new and scrolling the social media however they um, trap us into. And I want to share something with you that actually the consumerism is not really the problem because this habit uh, actually did not emerge overnight. There is another thing called capitalism as the consumerism engine because at the heart of over consumerism is an economic system that thrives on growth. It rewards business for producing more, selling more, and creating demand, often at the expense of environmental and social well-being. So this habit and culture is actually fabricated by these huge companies that Mas Angga mentioned, right? That make us think if we actually need something that we didn't think of needing at the first place. So the worst thing about this is it this can lead to plant obsolescence. As we can see in the fast fashion product, it can tear apart easily. But I think the worst case of this capitalism is the perceived obsolete, that we think that we need that thing, or the peer pressure of having the new series of iPhone, the new crop top, baggy jeans, which are only on trend. It's not even a classic that can last a long time. So yeah, and I want to ask you guys, although sometimes we failed in trying, but what strategies can we adopt to resist the pressure to consume created by the social media and advertising? Uh, how you control your wants of buying new things? How to fight capitalism? Anyone? Maybe Mbak Nizah Febri?
Hi, Miss Ozora. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for the opportunities. But maybe I think we need more like influencers who speak about this, because like maybe like 2 weeks ago, I found a influencer who have a concern with these issues, and then uh, she says that uh, she says that actually we to be a human we don't need like maybe we don't need to buy clothes every month, or she just remind us about that. And because of her videos, it made me realize that, oh yeah, actually sometimes usually we are tempted by what's that, advertisement or maybe discount from an e-commerce that led us to buy something that uh, not really important for us. So I think the more people who speak about this, it can make us, especially a youngster, realize that we can be a good minimalism human, something like that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it is nice to have someone with a huge influence to speak up about the thing that is actually was normal of repeating our outfits, of having only one shade of lipstick. But I think that's not a lot of influencer are doing that, are they?
Yeah, you're right. And also I found what's that? A good a community. The name is Bersaling Silang. If you can find it in Instagram. So they have a program to what's that? To decluttering their things like every month. So like everyone can adopt uh someone's things with free, but they have first to be what's that, responsible with that things that they adopted from other people. So we can use as what's that, someone's thing before while we buy something new from it.
Yeah, true. I think thrifting is now in trend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it can also lead to another problem because I don't know. Society has always their own ways to bend flip a solution into a new problem. I think it's a talent. Okay, next I want to hear from maybe Mas Ali. Can you share your thoughts on this question, please?
Check, check. Is it my voice clear?
Yes, we can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay. So yeah, maybe I just kind of give a little bit about my experience, or maybe about my what I think about these questions. Yeah, as a social media, uh, what I usually do at work, usually I get a lot of information or about other trend happening maybe in Indonesia or maybe in internationals that happen or affected in our society, usually like what usually we call from maybe between our generations, from millennials, from Gen Z, or maybe this nowadays because uh, children nowadays already know or maybe already aware about internet, maybe Gen Alpha with the use of maybe other language that we don't know about their other trends. So yeah, uh, using of social media will be affect more in younger generations rather than in older generations or maybe from millennials to gen well, the older generation that. And so yeah, from my perspective, we as the older generation should maybe maintain or maybe check maybe our siblings or maybe our relatives what the content they consume because yeah, it will be more affected more rather than us usually from when our in little we just get our information from newspapers or maybe from television rather than the fast moving information from internet nowadays. So yeah, maybe yeah, this is kind of like what it called small actions that we can do to our close relatives or maybe families. So yeah, the too much information or maybe yeah, for considering about environmental issues or maybe about what happening right now that they will be faced in the futures, maybe about climate change or maybe about uh, trash or other information that will be affect them when they get older. So yeah, maybe our duty to kind of help them to learn more things that we as a child didn't get the more information about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mas Ali, for sharing your opinion on this. But yeah, sometimes young people are really, what do we say this? Defensive, and they are not like being told to do. But yeah, that's a good effort actually. Uh, yeah, and next we have Mas Unggul Purnomo. I think you are still muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
actually, I'm not following this discussion from the beginning, but okay, I will give some comments on this. Um, it's been 2 years. I'm not using English as my spoken language. I'm using Arabic. I've lost a lot of vocabularies. Like, I need your help, Angga, if I forgot something. Okay. Actually, social media can affect us. Uh, what's that? What's that? Uh, Strongly. Oh, how you can say it? I don't know. Like, uh, for example, I've been watching Netflix. The title is Die Now. It means that every producer uh, will not thinking about how to renew what the product is, interesting in a bottle of consumption and everything. So actually, for me, the proposal for uh, achieving sustainable environment is consuming less. But I want to share something about the growth paradigmatically. For example, if I drinking alcohol or if I smoking ciggy, for example, and then I get sick, and then I die forever, for example, and then some people buried me, and they buy flowers and anything, it is called a positive in GDP, right? In our GDP. But because in the GDP model, there is no negative measurements, right? But in the growth, we need that the economy runs in a positive way. So because of that, the combination between consuming less, between do on the positive policy and activities is the purpose for achieving good societies actually, and it needs support from uh what's that from the view from the approach of fiscal and monetary policy. I mean, maybe the discussion is going further to economy, but I'm not going there. But something that is what's that important for me is, yeah, of course, social media will influence you significantly, but in some ways, there are a lot of insight that support us for not consuming more. For example, in country like Ghana, there are maybe 3 million of populations, but just in 1 week, uh, there are a lot of shipping containers which coming to that country, uh, shipping 1.5 million of clothing from English, for example, from Europe, and then for a year, maybe it will be a lot of stuff that is going to garbage in the beach and everywhere in Ghana. In reality, maybe one person for now, maybe have more. Lemari itu apa ya lemari ya? Oh,
Cupboard,
I forgot that.
cupboard,
Cabinet?
Covered, right?
cupboard, wardrobe.
Yeah, maybe one person have to cover of clothes, right? For 2 days because we are consuming more because of the advertisement from social media, from internet, and so on and so forth. This discussion actually, I really happy to enjoy because ini menyadarkan kita, what's that? It makes us realize that is every consumption should be think twice. Think twice. I mean, for the after sales, what we will do after sales? It will be renewable or not? It will be beneficial or not? It is more than enough for us or not? It is necessity or not? This is, I mean, I really like this discussion actually. Sorry for my English, right? Oh my goodness. Sorry guys.
No problem. It is interesting views on that because um, what you said is actually what is in the heart of capitalism. They are pursuing profits over anything else, and we are forced to be the consumers. And regarding the case in Ghana, it is very devastating, and I heard the electronic waste of the global north are being dumped on the global south countries. So we are actually dealing with waste like we don't have it like we don't already have a huge problem with that from our own waste. But yeah, the global north are dumping their waste on the global south countries. So it's gonna more like geopolitical problem. It's a huge and intricate issues we have here around consumerism and capitalism. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Now maybe I want to hear from
Risky.
oh yeah, I think we haven't heard from Mas Rizky. So can you please unmute yourself and give us your view on this topic, please, Mas Rizky?
Come on, Mas Rizky.
Hello, Mas Rizky, are you here? Ah, maybe he is away. Okay, next we have Mbak Henny is raising her hand, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss, for giving me chance to express my opinion through this following question. Well, there are some strategies that I can apply to reduce consuming or buying if I don't need it. Maybe I can, there are some steps, yeah, that I can apply in my condition. The first one is I can pause before purchasing. Maybe like this. You can implement like a cooling off period before buying anything. Yeah, before buying anything that you see on your social media or in an advertisement. You can think twice before you buy it. If you really need it, you take it. If you really don't need it, just leave it. Yeah, or you can wait 24 or 48 hours before making a purchase, and it works. Yeah, when I applied it in my condition. And number two, maybe I will unfollow accounts or influencers or brand that promote consumerism or product that constantly tempt me to buy. So I try to unfollow them. Yeah. And number three, I can apply like limit shopping application. So maybe I can apply like uninstall shopping application, yeah, for my phone, or if I install it, maybe I can hide it in a folder that I cannot see it in a glance. Yeah. And number four, I can create some kinds of wish list. Yeah, instead of buying items that really impulse, so I can create some list of items that I really need it or I want it. And last but not least, yeah, it depends on you yourself, I guess, whether you can control your desire to buy things that you really want or you need it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mbak, for sharing your tips and tricks because I'm happy that you brought it up because I also practicing on controlling myself by I try to sleep on it. I try to sleep on the very Solomon shoes that I probably don't need. And yeah, if I still want it, and think that I need it, after let it sleep for 2 days or a week, then I'll probably actually need that. And one tips from me, if I can share with you guys, is screen time. No, I'm practicing maintaining screen time below 5 hours a day, because I think it's really affecting our consumerism habit because Shopee or Twitter or Instagram, they always have something to offer, like this cute skirt, but practicing this all, now I'm end up with 99 plus stuff on my Shopee shopping chart. Uh, Next, we have Mas Saifullah Putra.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. For me personally, there are various measures that we can take as individuals to reduce the pressure or the tension to consume products or maybe like anything that created by social media and advertising or advertisement. Because if we I think if we allow the access for the larger companies or larger brands to control us by their advertisement on our smartphones or maybe on our laptops, it will affect us to purchase their products. So the more we allow the access to them, the allow we we want to purchase the product, so we have to cut off the access to allow them to control our pressure or maybe our desire to consume. So firstly, I want to say that uninstall shopping application on our smartphone is the, I think, is the most significant measures to take, because we see that sometimes we want to purchase anything, or maybe we don't have any desire to purchase anything, but if we are bored and we just open the shopping application, maybe Tokopedia or Shopee, and we see that there is a lot of maybe like amazing products or maybe lucrative products that we can purchase and buy, but we don't have to buy it for today or maybe for our daily activities, but from their advertisement and for their encouragement to encourage us to to buy the product, finally we buy the product. So I would say that if we allow them to give some special access to attract our consumption habits, so we have to avoid those maybe those access. If we have any desire to purchase maybe specific products from shopping application or maybe buy online, just surfing on the website, go typing the portals like maybe Tokopedia.com or Shopee.com, search the product directly and completing the process. Because the more we are searching the products or maybe the feature and comparing this product, it will affect to the algorithm. So the algorithm will impact on our social media, of course, like Instagram, YouTube, always appear the advertisement that we search on Tokopedia or Shopee, and it will ruin our consumption habit. So I would say that uninstall shopping application, it will be a positive solution for us to control our attention or maybe our desire to over consuming the products that we don't have to buy or we don't have to use it on a daily basis. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think we have to move on to the other question. I'm sorry, Mr. Sunshine, we will hear from you maybe on another question. So, yeah, so about capitalism and as a consumerism engine, in the global level, they neglecting a more essential needs of human beings, such as affordable housing or universal healthcare, because sometimes they are not profitable, and even so, they are monetizing the system. So we have to fight this capitalism. And yes, now we are arrived in our topic, although we have just a little time left. So there is a critique of capitalism, which point to the need of radical shift in how we define progress. This brings us the concept of degrowth. So degrowth is the idea of that challenges the dominance of profit and growth in shaping our societies. Basically, it's fighting capitalism, right? The growth advocating for more less is more. So we have to consuming less and prioritizing a well-being. So at the personal level, I think we can redefine the success and happiness, because most of the time, maybe not in this forum, but in other practice, we are forced to buy new stuff because it makes us belongs to the society that we live in. It promotes like simplicity and more mindful consumption. And finding joys in little things and shared experience in community. It's it's about simplicity, I might say. So after hearing about this new concept, what do you guys think of this theory when you hear of the term degrowth? Because there are still a debate on this topic, even from the experts, economists and scientists on is degrowth is a good thing or not. So for you, does it sound appealing or does it feel like giving something up? Mr. Sunshine, are you still want to answer this question? Because you're still raising your hand.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. As a matter of fact, my statement somehow about the individual's initiative is somehow have a kind of strong correlations with discussion as well. Because what I want to suggest is how we can find spouses or somebody that fit close to us that have a sensitivity towards the usage of money, so they have a financial awareness, they have like a significant interest in the long term financial independence. They will be the one, I mean, like, we are affected by the closest four people to us, right? So the circle, the communities we have strongly have a strong impact to shaping our personality. This is what I want to deliver before, but this one, regarding the growth, I think something that pops up in my mind. First thing first is related to whether moving on or shifting toward minimalism, would it be somehow beneficial to increase the purchasing power? Because I tend to see that by doing minimalism, people would be saving more than money rather than spending it, right? So, and this will somehow impact the revenues that would be obtained or attained by the governments, right? Because the PBN itself is relies so much, like 53% toward household spendings. If all people like hold their spendings, like the challenge of no buying things that have been a trend now, because people like criticize the decisions of the governments regarding the VAT, value added tax. So I can see that that might be I don't know whether it would lead to the growth is totally degrowing everything, or it would lead to growing everything. So it's kind of paradox at the same time, because even though we intentionally aims to um, decrease the excessive consumptions, however, in macro level, there would be more variables that needs to be considered so that we can achieve the intended objectives of doing this. I think that's for me.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sunshine. Yeah, it is actually as I said, it's still debatable about this topic because one of an economist argues that this is a delusional solution because the growth he assumed that the growth is unnecessary and it is unjust and it can mark the end of progress because why do we need to invent more um technology or progress because if we want to just stop consuming or spending our money, right? um yeah, because our world runs on money, so this is how we always been knowing. Okay, then we have Mas Unggul.
I also wanna share
Uh,
this. Go ahead, Gus Aji.
you first? Okay. When I hear it for the first time, I think it is the motto of this ideology or what concept is consuming less, right? So when it when it comes to like in our body consuming less, for example, of course we should consuming less for glucose, fructose, and so on and so forth, but consuming more on protein, on vitamins, and so on and so forth. For example, to decrease the inflammation in our body and decreasing the potential risk to get like obesity, cancer, diabetes, and so on and so forth. So this terminology is focusing on reducing our bad consumption, or what's that? Bad activity in economy. For example, for buying unrenewable energy, I mean products, and so on and so forth, and then forcing or enhancing for the good purpose of activity, right? So actually, in this concept, there are, for example, three or more concepts like the net economy, like sustainable development goals. But in my dissertation, actually, in our doctoral degree, I'm using SAM actually. What's that? Yeah, SAM in methodology, relating for the heterodox economic thinking, orthodox, degrowth, then .NET, sustainable, and then to inclusivity, and then to concept of Islamic economy. And in my first postulate is heterodox economic thinking, which is MMT, will always support what this concept will do, like what have been said from Jason Henkel and so on and so forth. Because other than this concept, there are a lot of flaws. A lot of flaws. For example, in SDG, Norwegia, for example, or Nordic countries, they are in the highest of parameter of their concept. But for example, in carbon footprint, they are the highest too, because the environmental what's the parameters should be combined with the others that makes it unreliable to be implemented in our measurement of economy. But in the growth, it is pure only for the good activities economy on macro level. At that point, the government should should adapt the good paradigm. For example, like heterodox, the tax is not tax that we give to the government is not for their income, but the tax is just for demand the currency, is for supporting good and bad behavior, and so on and so forth. So the different of concept that we combine with the growth, we will will have the consequences for inclusivity of our society, and it is inherent with the concept of economic in Islam. Actually, at that point, I think the growth should be uh, disebarkan tuh apa ya?
But
Itulah should be spread to the every entry level of society, that it makes us live in simple way. Just a minute. Oh yeah, live in simple way, and then in meaningful life. I mean, so that is my point.
Okay, thank you, Mas Unggul. Mas Angga, do you have something to say?
yes, sure. How many slides do we have left, Mbak Zora? Okay, okay. We still have time. It's okay.
Some. Yeah. Okay, we can skip some. Some of the questions are already answered.
Yeah. What's the question now? Can you please move back?
Oh, wait. Here. Can you see this slide?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It does sound appealing to me, because I think green growth does not only talk about consuming less or being green. I think it's more than that. Even the growth concept itself challenges the concept of green economy, because green economy, although still yeah, challenging the current economic system, which is from fossil fuel tyranny to more green and sustainable ways of living, but still, green economy is still maintaining growth, which is from degrowth perspective, detrimental to the environment and the society. So degrowth, I think, is more than that. It even challenges the economic system in which we live in, which is capitalism that Zora already mentioned before. Because under our current economic system, anything that is produced is based on the profit. So anything that is not profitable to the economy is not invested. That's why when we see other countries in the global north, for example, which are using neoliberalism or as their concepts, they really pay a little attention on sectors which are important to the society, like Zora also mentioned, like health, education, and also uh, health, education, and housing, for instance. Because
Housing.
yes, because these are not profitable for them. Instead, they invest more on things which are profitable, but not really needed by the society, like those industries that we have been discussing, right? So I think degrowth also challenges this concept under capitalism, which is a system that's organized around, this is the important one, exchange of value, not around use value. So it really doesn't really care about what people need. Instead, what is actually profitable to the people. So degrowth thinks about that. So it really brings us to think more about what we really need instead of what really benefits for the economy. And also about creating jobs and reducing working hours and et cetera, et cetera. Although degrowth has also some challenges, I think limits to the concept itself, because it only talks about the technical ones, which are about challenging the capitalism. But this one needs extra effort, you know. The system itself cannot be changed by itself. It really needs mass participation, I think, especially for the people, consumers, and particularly the working class who produce what we use daily, like what the clothes we are wearing, the shoes, the clocks, anything that are produced are are by the workers. So I think when it comes to the how to challenge the system, I think what's the degrowth is lacking. So yeah, that's I think my opinion. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Mas Angga. It is a very rich knowledge that we have from you. Maybe to add some more perspective, it is uh, people, the scholars sees degrowth as unjust because the concept really sees the development or the responsibility to do the degrowth for the global south and the global north equally. While if we see it in the perspective of the development dynamic for the global south and the global north country, it's not fair, right? Because uh, mostly it's talking about energy, and the growth is to produce less. Um, so for the energy production and the consumption, we should produce less. But then again, this aspect is the motor of the development of a country. So why do we have to limit our growth for saving the planets while most of the northern countries, the developed countries, are the one who made us suffer this huge. I think it's simple way to put it this opposed opinion. Okay, maybe we can hear from Mas Saifullah Putra.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Um, yeah, I think this theory sound, I think it sounds captivating for me because I know the reason why maybe scientists and thinkers has been debating this story to decide what's positive or negative to implement in our society. But I believe that this story would be superior to implement in wealthy countries because they've reached uh, the financial stability. They don't think too much about finding money or maybe looking for wealthy. So I think it's different. It's different from us. We are living in the developing countries, and we are looking for our money or maybe to reach the financial stability. So I think this story, I think want to avoid the parameter or maybe the criteria to assess the economics wealth in a specific country. Somehow we can use it the GDP or gross domestic product to measure which is the country is maybe is developed or developing. And but the story it's more like it more emphasizes the ecological benefits or improving people's well-being and so on, so they don't care about the statistical or data about the GDP, but they focus on the people, so and the environment also. So I think, yeah, they they have I think this theory has benefits and drawbacks. Like maybe for the benefits, it can control excessive consumerism among people. So this theory encourage the people to reduce the consumption based on their necessity, but not as based on their desire to purchase the products. But and also, I think this theory want to stave off the people to purchase from the maybe distinguished companies or maybe the larger brands, because this theory encourage the people to buy from buy product from locally, so they can enhance the economic in their surrounding. Maybe we can buy the food or maybe vegetables from local farmers and or maybe or small businesses, so the money can, I think they can keep exchangings between the peoples in the specific region or in the specific place. I think it's different with the maybe capitalism theory or maybe like the other theory who want to encourage people to buy the product from the larger or maybe the distinguished companies. But I think this theory is more complex to implement, and this theory doesn't have any specific measures or parameters to assess maybe how the country is developed or developing, and how the people can be controlled or can be managed to follow this theory on their daily basis. So I think this theory wouldn't really positive for people who live in maybe in developing countries, because we are still we still really depend on maybe big or larger companies to supply our necessities on a daily basis, like smartphones, clothes, or maybe food, beverages, and so on. And if we cut off the access to purchase the products from them, I think it would ruin the maybe job opportunities, and there will be many layoffs from the companies. And also I think the more people lose their jobs and lose their employments because of this theory. So I would say this theory is debatable. I agree with this notion, but we have to manage this theory to implement in our society. But if you are wealthy enough to implement this theory in your life, I think it would be a meaningful for you to control your consumption, because this theory, I believe that I think it is correlated with maybe wealthy people, or maybe people who have affluent wealth in their lives. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mas Saifullah. Yeah, it is true that there is no blanket solution for all these problems. And some might say degrowth and frugal living and minimalism is only for this. I think that has a point there. Okay. Because it's 10 already, maybe we have a little more time for our final question. Um, Where's the fact? Here. So after all this the discussion that we have today, we exchanges views on this topic. So we know that our world is shaped by the climate urgency, the social inequalities, and economic pressure. So for you as an individual, what would it take for you to redefine progress, and how can you be part of that transformation? This is the final question. Maybe we can just give our a brief answer, please. Anyone want to answer first? This is just kind of reflection on our conversation today. Yes, Mas Unggul.
I will follow the godmother of broken capitalism. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. But but then again, it requires a lot of efforts and massive changes. Um, Anyone else? Maybe two more people. Oh, okay. I haven't heard from Mbak Ekalita Sari.
Um, I don't know it is too ideal or not, or too expensive or not, because sometimes when we give delivered our opinion, we missing the details. But in my thought, maybe for to feel, I agree with Mr. Angga that we have to more concerned about the need, not once it's so the idea of the degrowth and apa the extension consumerism in principle is not false at all, but everything is needed to be uh, adaptation, or what you said, synchronized. So you cannot force things too hard, because it has to be a habit first, and then you have to change your lifestyle, of course. And it's or also refer to the education and social life, and of course mental health, because many people didn't ready to be more simply in when living their life, mostly if they are already get used to materialism. In the simple sample, when we discuss about economic policy, right? um, we have to concern about the people that losing the jobs when you are forcing the policy is too hard. And then when you educate your children, educate your society, it's not 1 or 2 days, right? Their mother have to be more proactive when teaching their children recognize the need or want, something like that. And in the schools, of course, they are also have to educate their wealth people not to follow much their desire, and it's not it's not very it's not easy, because when you are wealthy, it's more logic that you are will be hedonist and materialism than simply, right? And then what would you do as a parent? Of course, you have to teach your children about the religion, right? Islamic mostly, because Islamic always teaches us about a simplicity. It's not because we prefer one religion to another. It's not like kind of the discussion, but it's very objective. In Islamic, wealthy people, they didn't allow to be materialism and hedonist, but they have to share their wealth to others. And you can see the prophets friends, best friends, they are wealthy people, but they are social with people. And in one context, the prophet is correct their best friend, because although he is wealthy, I forgot the name is, so he is born in the wealth family, and he is so, you get used to materialism things. And the prophet said that you are to desire to your wants. So when he said, the prophet said to him like that, he changed his lifestyle and he give his wealth to the needy. But when you didn't share your wealth to others that need, then the green growth and all the capitalism is not working, because you feed yourself first. That's the problem. But when the wealth people can be more simply, and they can control their self and their needs, and they can share what they have to others, then the growth concept is will be ready to apply. That's why in Islamic, why they are didn't concern about the wealthy people that always thinking about themselves, although they are sufficient and they are very not apa kekurangan, not needy, but they didn't want to share or care about surrounding the people surround them. So in Islamic, that if you have um, wealthy, you didn't allow to spend all your wealthy for yourself. It's not like that. You have to give a lot of your wealthy for your society, for your relatives in the poor, and for widows that they cannot afford themselves. So you have to be more, if you have a wealthy, you cannot fit your ego. So when and I also agree with Mr. Anga, to apply this concept, you have to ready first about the education and healthy, of course, because when you are to push the and you didn't ready and in the mental health, and you have to consume food that uh, of course not as like your want or expected, but it's healthy, and you didn't get used to it, it's very hard. uh, and that's why I think the concept is as a theory is very good, but when you want to apply, you have to uh, push yourself. It's like a training in Islamic religion, that that you have to educate your children, your society, and your leader to be simply. And when you can educate your environment, then you can apply the green growth, and your materialism and hedonism also will be automatically reduced. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Ekalita. Yeah, change is indeed uncomfortable, and we can always start from us, whatever role we have as a mother, as in society, as a worker. And yeah, we actually each of us has the best practice of how to live well and how to be the part of the biosphere in a good way. Okay, maybe I can conclude from our discussion that um, there is no one solution for what we has been doing wrong our whole life in our economic system. Although people are proposing degrowth as one of the solution of decapitalizing, is that a word? But yeah, the this proposed solution still need a lot of adjustment because we've been facing this giant enemy for our whole life, and it's not easy to please all the people that are included in this list. Thank you so much, everyone, for this very interesting discussion. I give the floor back to Mas Angga.
Well, thank you, Zora, for sharing our discussion and providing interesting questions with an interesting topic and very relevant to us for us to discuss today. Before we close the meeting, as always, I have two things to do. First, Mbak Zora, can you please stop sharing first? Okay, first of all, I need to convey the appreciation for Kak Zora by giving her this one. Yep, Kak Zora, again, thank you. This is just like a kind of appreciation from us, Otak community, to you. That's just led our discussion tonight. So, guys, we can take a picture with this. Can you please turn on your video so we can see whether you're still with us or not, and capture our moments. Wait, how can I take pictures? Mr. Sunny, are you still there, Mr. Sunshine?
Yes, I am, but I'll need to move on from my phones to my
Oh,
iPad.
I can screenshot. Okay, I can take a photo.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you to take a photo. Now I can do it. Okay. Everyone, can you please turn on your video just briefly? Kak Rizky, Henny, Sakina, Niza, Eka,
Recording in progress.
uh, Kak Niza, Febri, Kak Acha, can you please show your video? Miss Eka, okay, just us. All right. Let me take a photo. Please give your best smile to us. Okay, I'll count from 1, 2, 3. One more. Another pose. 1, 2, 3. Okay, once more. Without the certificate. All right, now it's our face is more visible. Another pose. Give me a second. All right, 1, 2, 3. One more. Last one. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you so much, Kak Zora, especially, and everyone for sharing your thoughts, your ideas on this topic. I'm sorry, as a host, if I made some mistakes to all of you, and I hope that we can meet again next week in our weekly discussion with a different and interesting topic to discuss. Well, Mr. Sunshine, I kind of forget what we have to say.
Hello, Ota.
Yeah,
Yesterday
Ota
we said
community, and when I say Ota community, you guys should say yesterday we
You said
tomorrow. Yeah, yesterday we said tomorrow. Okay, Ota community.
Yesterday we said
Yesterday we
tomorrow.
say
It's been like 5 years.
tomorrow.
Thank you very much, everyone, and I'll see you.
Thank
Thank you very much,
you.
sir. Bye.
Everybody.
You.
Well done, lads. Well done.
Bye.
Thank you, Ota.